I'm Emily at the JCC, and this is Kids Yoga. So thank you for joining me today, and I wanted to share with you some of my favorite things about yoga. Yoga means unity, bringing together, and what we're bringing together is our breath, our body, and our minds. When we do that, we're able to do so much more. It makes us stronger, healthier, happier people, and gives us all the tools that we need to stay that way. So one of the tools we use in yoga is meditation. Maybe you've heard that word before, meditation. And really it means sitting with our breath. So we're going to start class today with a meditation. And this is the sparkle jar meditation. So I just wanted to show you. When you wake up in the morning, your mind is like this. It's clear. You can see clearly. But then you stub your baby toe in the corner of the bed. And then in breakfast, you spill your cereal, and your grown-up's like, why do you always make such a mess? Clean up this mess, blah, blah. And then you go to school, maybe, and your friend's like, oh my gosh, are those the shoes you're wearing? And you're like, what? I love these shoes. These are great shoes. And your teacher's like, hey, sit in a chair for 8 hours and don't talk. And then you forgot to bring that assignment with you, and before you know it, it's one thing after next, after next, after next, and your brains get scrambly, and you can't see through. Yoga teaches us to sit and breathe. Until it's clear again, and we can see clear. But then you want to go play with your friend, and your grown-up's like, no, you don't have time. You have to do homework. You have to go here. You got to go there. You have practice and this and that and the other thing and all the things. And there's so many things. And then we put it down and we breathe. And what we find is that things keep coming and they keep shaking up our day. Sometimes so much that the whole day gets turned upside down. And we sit. And we breathe. And when we sit with our breath, everything settles back down. And we can see clear again. Like that. If you've ever been to class at the J, you probably have one of these sparkle jars. And if you don't have a sparkle jar, I made this one. You could make one. It's super easy. It's just sparkles in a jar with a lid. And I glued it so you won't drink it. Right? Ask your grown-up about it. Sparkle jar meditation. Cool. So part of yoga is breath work and meditation, and part of yoga is moving our bodies. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to start moving our bodies. So who can tell me what animal makes this sound? Here, do this with me. Hands and knees. Lift your head up and your tailbone up. I'll give you a hint. Moo. Yeah, this is cow pose. And then round your back. Who knows what pose this is? I'll give you a hint. Meow. Yeah, this is cat pose. Let's move back and forth. Moo. Meow. Moo. Meow. Moo. Meow. Woof. Ha! Did I get ya? Downward facing dog. Good. Ready? Moo. Meow. Moo. Meow. Moo. Meow. Woof. Ha. Downward facing dog. And what about this one? Ow! Upward facing dog. Good. Okay, here we go. Moo. Meow. Moo. Meow. Moo. Meow. Woof. Good. Moo. Meow. Woof. Ha. Ow. Moo. Meow. Woof. Ow. Moo. Meow. Woof. Ow. Woof. Ha. Ow. Woof. Ow. Woof. Look between your hands, bend your knees, and hop. Press through your feet and slowly, slowly roll up to mountain pose. Good. Stand up tall. Make sure that your feet are pointed forward. Roll your shoulders around and back. So listen. In our culture, they tell us that we should be like this. Not seen, be quiet, get out of the way, just be. But that's not who we are. We are big and tall and strong like mountain, sometimes even loud. And that's okay. That's okay. So stand tall in your mountain pose, the biggest, best version of you there is today. And that's going to change every day. Some days you're going to feel like this amazing, strong mountain. And some days you're not going to feel it at all. But today, this is who you are. Stand tall. Stand proud. Mountain pose. Good. So now we're going to work on some balances. These are going to be tricky. These are going to be tricky, okay? So if you want, you could hold on to a wall or a chair or your sibling or maybe a dog or whatever. You can hold on to something is fine. We're going to start with tree pose, okay? So for tree pose, put one foot on the ground and pick the other one up. And maybe your toes still touch the ground. That's fine. Or maybe you bring your foot to your leg. And it could be the bottom of your leg or the top of your leg. But maybe don't put your foot right on your knee. That wouldn't be good for your knee. Bring your hands to your heart. And if it's hard to balance, find a spot on the ceiling and stare at it, any kind of little spot. Imagine that you have superpowers, like laser beams that come out of your eyeballs. Stare at the spot with your laser beam eyeballs. Good, and then breathe in, expand, reach out. Come back to center. And we'll switch sides. So put the other foot on the ground. Pick the other one up. Maybe your toes touch the ground. That's fine. Or maybe you bring your foot to your lower leg. So for me, this is my surgical side. I had an accident. I had an injury. And I can't do it the same way you can. And that's okay. Should I be like, no, I can't do it. I can't do tree. No, I can't be a yoga teacher because I can't do tree. Should I quit? Or should I just try? Let's just try. We'll just see. And maybe it's okay. You know what? I kind of like my funky little tree. It's different than anybody else's tree. I can still set my laser beam eyeball focus. I can still expand and be big. What about you? Come back through center, all the way down. Good, you can shake out your legs. And we'll do dancer pause. So pick up one foot behind you. Stay here or pick up the other hand. Press your back foot to the sky. Set your eyeballs on a spot. That's your focus. And then come back up. Bring your knee up. And bring it down with control. Shake it out. Good. Other side. Pick your foot up behind you. Same hand, same foot. Take the opposite hand up. Press your back foot up. Stare at your spot. Come back up. Bring your knee up in front. And put it down intentionally. Good. Shake it out. Do a little hula. Do a little floss. Or whatever. Shake it out. Good. So for this one, pick one knee up. Take your peace fingers and grab your big toe. You can hold on with your other hand if you'd like. Maybe straighten that leg. Good. Bring it back down. And release it to the ground. Other side. Pick your knee up. Take your peace fingers. Grab your big toe. Stay here. Or maybe straighten that leg out. Stare at your spot for balance. Big toe pose. You think they would have come up with a different name, right? Big toe pose? I don't know. Giraffe pose or something, right? Bend your knee, bring it back down. Shake it out. Good. Airplane pose. Pick one knee up. Take that foot straight out behind you. Straight out. And then come up, bring your knee up, and release it down. And we'll do the other side. Lift your knee up. Take that foot straight out behind you. Bring it back up. And put it down. Good. So those are some of the basics. And now it's time for balance challenge. Okay, this is gonna be hard. You're gonna fall over. You're gonna wanna quit. Just like I wanted to quit. But yogis, keep trying. If you fall down 1,000 times, that's fine. What's gonna happen? Are you gonna get kicked out of yoga? No. You just get back up again and you try again. And you try again and again and again and again. Okay? So here we go. It's gonna be hard. Okay? You can hold on to something if you want. That's fine. All right, here we go. Stand up tall. Pick one knee up. Take your peace fingers, grab your big toe. Straighten out your leg, big toe pose. And then keep your foot lifted, but move into dancer's pose. You can try again. Move from here to airplane, release your leg. Tree pose without touching down, all the way up. And bring it all the way down. Good. That was hard, right? But you can totally do it. All you have to do is practice. In fact, the truth is, you can do anything you want to do. In this whole world, you can do anything. You just have to practice. Again and again and again 1,000 times. And you can totally do that, right? I mean, what else were you doing? Sitting there? All right, ready? Other side. Pick one knee up. Take your peace fingers, grab your big toe. Big toe pose. Straighten your leg out. Without touching down, see if you can make it to dancer. You have to set your eyes on a spot. To airplane, release your foot, take it straight behind you. To tree, come up, bring your foot up. Reach up. And bring it down, good. Hard, right? Yeah, let's do it again. Right? You have to practice. All right, stand up tall. We're gonna do it again, one more time on each side. And I want you to notice, this time, can you do it better than the time before? Can you do it better? I know I can, because I've practiced this for probably since you were born. So I've practiced it 1,000 times. I want to know if you can do it better when you practice. Okay, so stand up. Lift your knee up. Take your peace fingers, grab your big toe. Big toe pose, straighten your leg. See if you can move to dancer. Set your eyeballs. See if you can move to airplane. And then come up to tree. And release down. Good. All right, last go. Ready? Stand up tall. Pick the other knee up. Take your peace fingers. Grab your big toe. Straighten your leg out. Without touching down, can you make it to dancer? Set your eyes on a spot. Airplane. To tree. And release all the way down. Good. Shake it out. So in yoga, you might have heard the term warrior. We are warriors. Every yogi, a yogi is somebody that practices yoga. Every yogi is a warrior for something that you care about. Think about one thing that you care about. It could be anything. It could be like grown-ups or your family or your community or anything. For me, it's water, fresh water. I'm a water keeper. I love the beach. I love the rivers and the streams. You pick your thing. And as we go through this next series, I want you to think about being a warrior for that. Taking a stand for that. Using your voice for that. Yeah? All right, this is Warrior 1 pose. My front knee is bent and my back foot is flat. Warrior 1. Warrior 2, open your arms. Exalted warrior, take your front hand up. And then we'll switch to the other side. Warrior 1. So my front knee is bent, my back leg is straight. Warrior 2, open your arms. Exalted warrior, front hand up. And we'll switch. Other side, warrior 1. Warrior 2. Exalted warrior. Exalted means joyous, by the way. My kids made me Google it. Joyous. Yeah. Switch. Other side, warrior 1. Warrior 2. Exalted warrior. Switch. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Exalted warrior. Switch. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Exalted warrior. And we'll do one more each side. So switch. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Exalted warrior. Switch. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Exalted warrior. And come back to the center. So I know that y'all are kids. And sometimes that feels little. And sometimes it feels like you can't make much of a difference. But the truth is you can. And if you have something you care about, whether it's fresh water or your community or your family or whatever your thing is, you can make a difference. You are a warrior for that thing. And we're grateful to have you. All right, we're going to move on now to inversions. So inversions are important to do every day. It's a big word. It means go upside down. So it's important to go upside down every day. And there's several reasons why, okay? Number 1, inversions bring freshly oxygenated blood to your brains. And this is the inversion we're doing today. It's called L stand. L stand. So we're going to start in downward facing dog by a wall, with your feet by a wall. And your wall only has to be like 3 inches wide. It could be a door or a column. Walk your feet up till your body makes a capital L. Not an exclamation point. That's exciting. But this is L stand. Capital L. Breathe in and out. And then come all the way down to child's pose. All the way down. Breathe so big, I can see your back get bigger. Like that, breathe. And then let's do it again. L stand. Start in downward facing dog with your feet by the wall. Walk your feet up the wall. Make a capital L. Breathe big, in and out. All the way down, child's pose. Big breath, in and out. Your breath is your power, so power up. Did you notice how like the first one was kind of weird and scary, and then the second one was like still totally weird, but not really scary, but more kind of like, I know how to do this. And then by the next one, like boom, you can pop right up. Ready? Let's go. L stand. The most important thing about handstands, and L stand is handstand, the most important thing is it teaches us to be brave. It shows you that you can hold up the whole earth with your two hands. 100%, you can hold up the whole world. All the way back down, child's pose. Big breath. L stand, go back up. This time, if you're comfortable, and by comfortable I mean not terrified, if you're comfortable, take one foot straight up. And just so we're clear, L stand is a handstand, 100%. Try the other foot straight up. Yeah, like that. All the way down to the ground, child's pose. Big full breaths in and out. Power up for one more. L stand, go back up. Maybe put one foot up in the air. Maybe switch. Come all the way back down to the ground, child's pose. Big breath in and out. And then lift your head up, and we'll do an exercise for our wrists. So flap your wrists like this. Throughout your life, you'll see people doing really weird things with their wrists. They'll go like this and that. Don't ever do any of that. Do this. This is the safe way to bring blood back to your metacarpals. This, or you could go like this, but then you look like the queen on the float. So you have to talk like the queen of the float. Hello, everyone. Thank you for doing handstands today. All right, good. Everybody come back to a seat for a meditation. Have a seat, sit up tall, and we're going to do another meditation. This one is the bell meditation. So with this one, I have this cool earth bell. It even says wow on it. That's how cool it is. It says wow earth bell. So what we're going to do is ring the bell. Can you hear it? what we're gonna do when I ring it, we're gonna breathe in until we can't hear it anymore. And then when you can't hear it anymore, breathe out, okay? So here we go. Ready? So if we were in class today, we would pass it around and all get a turn to ring the bell. But I get all the turns today. So ready? Here we go. This is another tool that you can use anytime you need to change your day. And we'll get back into meditation in just a little bit. I'm going to put my bell to the side. And I wanted to show you this guy. So this is Mr. Orange. Or it might be Miss Orange, I'm not sure. They didn't properly introduce themselves at any point in time. So this is Orange. And Orange teaches us a lesson. And I'm gonna share that lesson with you. But first, I wanted to tell you a story. And it's the story of how yoga started. Yeah. Maybe you've heard it before. So, once upon a time, there was a prince. And he was the richest, most powerful person in the whole world. He had the biggest palace ever. He had pets like tigers and lions at his house. He had the best silk robes and the best shoes ever. And every night at his house was a huge party. There was food and music and dancing, and everyone came. Everyone wanted to be his friend. But you know what? He wasn't happy. The richest, most powerful person in the world with everything you could ever want wasn't happy. But he was smart. And he decided that he was going to figure out the secret to happy. So he went out into the woods and he sat under a beautiful tree called the Bodhi tree. And he decided to sit there until he learned the lesson. Guess how long it took the dude? Guess how long? 7 years he sat under the tree. And guess what he learned after 7 years? Yeah, exactly. That his bum hurt from sitting there. So he watched the animals and he learned cat and cow and down dog and up dog and tree pose and all of the poses that we practice at yoga. He learned those. And over time, he learned the secret to happy. And the secret to happy is gratitude. It's being grateful. Grateful is another big word that means thankful. If your brains are always focused on what you want, the next video game, the next shoe, the next car, the next house, the next thing, you're always going to be unhappy because you don't have that thing. And even once you get that thing, there's always going to be another thing. So here's the thing. People make stuff to sell to you. More stuff and more stuff and more stuff. Like that's their job, is to make stuff to sell to you. There will always be more stuff. And though, if you can refocus your brain to think of what you're grateful for, you'll always be happy. You'll always be happy. Like, if you own this huge mansion palace and you're like, my mansion is blue and I wanted it to be purple, like, you're never gonna be happy, right? But what if you live like out in the woods in a tent and like it's pouring rain and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I have this tent and now my head's not getting wet in the rain. You'll be happy. And it doesn't necessarily mean just like things like tents and stuff. Sometimes it means like people, like grown-ups that care for you, or like opportunities like to learn, books to read, things to do. It's like that. So we play a game called Orange You Grateful, and it helps us to wire our brains to be thankful, to be happy. Research has shown that if you practice every day being thankful, you'll be a happy person. You'll be a happy person. So in class, we would pass it back and forth with our toes, like this. But today, it's just me and you, so we're gonna have to pretend pass it, okay? And this is what we do. We hold it with our feet. Hey, do you have something in your house that's like this shape or size, like a stuffy, or like a shoe, or just like anything, a pillow, like anything? Go get it real quick. Like pause, go get it real quick. Okay, so what we do is we hold it with our feet like this. And we say, orange you grateful for. Get it now why he's orange? It's like, aren't you grateful? But he's an orange, so it's orange you grateful. Orange you grateful for. And then we say the thing. So let's start with our favorite sweet treat. Orange you grateful for chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. All right, I'm going to pass it to you. Ready? Catch it. What are you grateful for, sweet treat? Yeah? All right, pass it back. Yes. All right, get it with your feet. Ready? Now we're going to say, don't get comfy. Ready? Now we're going to say our favorite sweet treat that comes from the earth. Yeah, like a fruit or a vegetable. So orange, you grateful for mangoes. Mangoes. Yeah, all right, your turn. Ready? What sweet treat from the earth are you grateful for? Yeah? All right, pass it back. Woo! Nice throw. All right, now we're going to say, no, there's like 40 of these. Now we're going to say our favorite vegetable. I know what you're thinking, right? Ew, gross, what? But here's the thing. Veggies don't always taste good, but they make us stronger and healthier, and like, that's good, right? So think of your favorite veggie, and I'll tell you what, okay? Just a secret. Technically, chocolate is a bean. Yeah, chocolate is a bean. That totally counts. French fries come from potatoes. Yeah, so there's a lot of them out there. I'm gonna go with spinach, because it makes my muscles strong. So orange, you're grateful for spinach. All right, ready? Your turn. What veggie do you like? All right, pass it back. Woo! All right, now this time we're gonna say something we like to do outside. Outside. So orange, you grateful for paddle boarding on the water. I love to go play on the water. Ready? All right, it's your turn. What do you like to do outside? All right, cool. Pass it back. Woo! All right, last one. Last one. Okay. Let's say somebody that we're grateful for. A person. Maybe a person that helps you. It could be anybody. Anybody. So, orange, you grateful for my kids. Because they remind me to have fun every day instead of just like work all the time. Because, right? So orange, you grateful for my kids. All right, here you go. Who's a person that you're grateful for? Okay, cool. Pass it back. Yes, awesome. So the lesson is every day think of things you're grateful for. People, places, opportunities. And you'll wire your brains to be happy. Like, it's as easy as that. And maybe if you know people that are like stressed out or freaked out, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of people stressed out and freaked out right now. Like, you could remind them, like, think of something you're grateful for. Yeah, some people even write it down every day. How cool would that be to have like your own like book or journal that you could write down every day, like 2 or 3 things you're grateful for? Yeah, you have the power to change the chemistry of your brain. Easy, right? Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna do one more meditation before we move on. So sit up tall. This meditation is one of my favorite meditations. I've taught it all around the world in many different languages. I've taught it in France. I've taught it in Africa, in Swahili. You want to learn it in Swahili today? I'll tell you what, let's start with English today and maybe Swahili tomorrow. Sit up tall. This meditation is called Peace Begins With Me. Super simple. You can do it anywhere. And what we do is we put our hands on our knees like this. We say peace and tap the first finger. Begins, and we tap our thumb to the next. With is the next finger. Me is the last. So peace begins with me. And we take a deep breath, and then we do it again. All right, and we all do it together. So everyone sit up tall, bring your hands to your knees. Take a big breath in through your nose and say it with me. Peace begins with me. Take a big breath. Peace begins with me. Big breath. Peace begins with me. And now we'll whisper. Ready? Big breath. Peace begins with me. And again. Peace begins with me. And again. Peace begins with me. And now no voice, just our fingers. Big breath. Big breath. Last time. And rest. Can you feel it? Can you feel the change in your brains? Maybe. All of yoga is based on science. And the science behind that exercise is that 9 slow breaths activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Another giant word. You have all these big yoga words. That means it tells your body it's okay to rest now. It's okay. Even when things aren't okay. And I gotta be honest, there's a lot of things out in the world that are not okay right now. And that's okay. It's okay for you to put all of that stress down and all of that pressure down. And if you see your grown-ups and they're stressed out too, teach them peace begins with me. It's the fastest way to change the chemistry of your brain. Anytime you need to change your day and change it quick, peace begins with me is the easiest way to do that. Cool. So we're gonna do a few stretches now. Come to Pigeon Pose with one knee forward and the other leg straight back behind you. Rest in. In yoga, we're always in inquiry. We're always asking questions. And my question for you is, do you ever Do you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel stress or anxiety or any feelings you don't like, whether it's mad or sad or lonely? Yeah, probably, right? Yeah. And I wanted you to know that it's totally okay to feel that way. You're probably right for feeling that way. And you don't want to live there. You want to go back to the happy, right? And the fun. Yeah. Yoga and meditation, and practicing yoga and meditation regularly will help you to let go of those feelings you don't want to keep so you can get back to the happy. That's what yoga is just tools to be healthy and strong and happy. All right, press up on your hands. See if you can reach your back foot. And if you can reach it, pull it in tight. Your front hand can stay on the ground, or it can reach out front. It could go across the front, or it could go overhead, mermaid pose. On the paddleboard, I call this one swimming mermaid pose because I fall in. Does it stop me? No. Do I try again? Yes. Good. Release very gently your hands and your foot. And then let's switch legs. Bring the other leg forward. Pigeon on the other side. Rest in. And on this side, I want you to think about what are the things that make you happy. And not things like toys, I mean maybe a stuffy or something, but more like things you do. Like maybe games you play, or if you like to dance, or play basketball, or whatever your thing is. What are the things that you like that make you happy? Let's make more of those. And then press up on your hands. Reach for your back foot and see if you can pull it in tight. And if you can pull it in, your front hand could stay on the ground. It could go straight out ahead. It could go across the front, or it could go overhead, mermaid pose. Gently release your hands and your foot. And make your way down to your back. So lay down on your back with your knees bent. And cross one leg all the way over the other like the fancy people do. The queen of the float would sit like that. And let both legs fall that way. But keep your shoulders on the ground and turn your face back the other way. Twist. Twisting helps us to let go of those feelings that we don't like, of those thoughts we don't like, so that we can go back to the happy. And then come back to the middle. Uncross your legs. Cross the other leg on top. And let both legs fall that way. Keep your shoulders on the ground. Turn your face back the other way. And just breathe here. Come back to the middle. Uncross your legs. Happy baby. Take your feet up, grab your feet, and rock side to side, to side to side. And then bring your knees to your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs and give yourself a big, loving, full body hug. Shavasana. Lay all the way down flat. And just for a moment, notice this scarf. And if you have a scarf, use your scarf. And if not, then just lay still and you can watch, or you can pretend you have a scarf. And breathe in, lift it up, overhead, breathe out, bring it down. In and up, out and down. Keep going like this. And look at how pretty it floats. And it sparkles and it shines. And each time it goes a little bit different way. It floats a little bit different. It sparkles a little bit different. And no one way is better than any other way. It's all sparkly and pretty and floaty. And that's like you. And that's like me. We're all shiny and sparkly and floaty in our own way. Each a little different. But no one way is really any better than the other way. It's all good. In fact, it's probably better that we're all a little different, because otherwise, like, what would we even talk about? It'd be boring. The next time you bring it down, tuck yourself in like it's a little blanket, and you're gonna take a nap. We're not really gonna take a nap. But at the end of yoga, we lay very still, almost like it's a nap. And this lets our body take in the energy we made today. The energy of it's okay. And even when it's not okay, that's okay. You have the tools now to bring the happy back. Let your body rest just for a moment and soak that in. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice how your chest goes up and down, very much like the waves of the ocean. And just like the waves of the ocean, yoga teaches us that life goes up and down. Happy, sad, the fun to the boring. So if you're happy today, be grateful. That's wonderful. And know that it might not always be like that. And if you're stressed out or sad today, know that's okay too. And it's not always going to be like that. Take a few more breaths, following the movement of your chest up and down. And then take a big breath in through your nose. Super huge big breath in. Open your mouth and let it out. One more, just like that. Super huge breath in. Let it go. Then wiggle your fingers and toes. And roll to a side. Lay on your side with your knees bent. Fetal pose. This is the pose of waking up to new strength you didn't even know you had. You are stronger than you know. And you have all the tools that you need. Use your hands and press yourself up to a seat. Sit tall and proud. Bring your hands to your heart. Go into your world and know that peace does begin with you. You are a warrior for something very important, and we're really lucky that you're here. Thank you for joining me today for yoga. Together we say Namaste.